Today we're going to talk about how to approach a timid patient with Shonishin. There is a lot to unpack from this video, so we're going to get straight into it. Now, if you haven't already, please do make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell to be notified of future videos all about traditional Japanese medicine. Now, my name is Maya Suzuki, and I first started learning Shonishin when I was a acupuncture student in Japan at Toyo ShinKyu Senmon Gakko. I learned with some amazing practitioners at my school, both in school, and then after school, I actually joined a very specific study group called the Daishiru style of Shonishin, which is, for those of you who study Shonishin, it is the study group of Tanioka sensei. Now, Shonishin, first off, if you're not familiar with it, it is the Japanese non-insertive style of treating a pediatric client. I've talked a lot about the difference of Shonishin and Teishin tools and how to keep them, so you can find that video linked up here. So let's get into how to approach a timid patient when they come into your office and with the tools. So the very first thing is when they come into my door right here, there's a few things that I like to look for with children, especially when it's their first treatment in. Now, obviously, if they're a newborn, that's a different scenario. I'm talking about usually the age of 1 to 8 is usually when they're quite timid. I would say that toddler age is the biggest age. So usually when they walk in the door, I actually never make eye contact with my kid. And that is the very first tip that I give to anybody who's looking to start treating children. Don't make eye contact initially. So some super interesting videos, if you're ever interested, is looking at how trainers actually train wild Mustangs. Now, the reason why I get into this, or any horse for that matter, is because horses are also prey animals, just like children. They live to be food for other things. Children act and react to kids and other adults, especially socially, as a prey animal would with a predator. And so the very first thing is, if you make eye contact with that child, you're actually staring them down like a coyote would, for its prey. And I kind of stand like this. So if you're the child and I'm the practitioner, I'm going to stand at a 45 angle, kind of like towards them, but not really looking at them. And then I don't make eye contact with them. I might look like above their head or to the side of them, or I might just talk with their parents and kind of ignore them, but always at a 45-degree angle, never at a 90-degree angle. Because again, slow, really like creepy movements, 90 degrees, eyes on eyes, shoulders squared. That is how predator stalks their prey. Now, the second thing that I really recommend that you do to approach a timid child is to really watch how they are interacting with their surroundings. Now, I have a whole playroom out in my clinic. Let's just go over there so I can kind of show you what I'm talking about. Okay guys, so this is my playroom here, and I have my bed right over there, so you can kind of see I'm just sitting on the floor. So I actually treat, especially my toddlers, I treat them on the floor. And so when they come into my room, the very first thing, again, 45 degrees, kind of facing a little bit away from them. I'm not having direct eye contact. I'm kind of seeing how they interact with their parent. And then the very first thing I do is I bring them over and I say, hey, do you want to come play with my toys? Again, not looking at them directly, but kind of talking towards them. Or I say, hey, can you find my toys? And then they'll come into my toy area, and usually they'll invite their parent to play. Now, they don't always invite their parent to play, and it's a really big warning sign when they don't. So I always like to bring them over here, and then I just sit on the floor. Again, if they are, let's say they're my little fire over here, I'm gonna sit like kind of on a 45-degree angle towards them instead of like staring at them and being right in front of them. And then I'm just gonna watch how they interact with their environment. If I often have observers in my clinic from the local school, so I'll kind of watch how they're glancing at the observers. A lot of times kiddos who are in really, really prey mode, they're gonna consistently like be checking out that person over in the corner and like, who are you? And then they tend to have a lead increase here. That's a whole other topic. They have what we call condo machine. So really, really watching how they interact with their social environment, and then trying to blend in a little bit with their environment and just start playing with them. So a little bit of, I guess you could call play therapy before we even start touching and trying to treat. So never, never, never do I go straight into treatment with a child unless they really know me and we've been doing this for a long time. So the third thing that I really recommend when approaching a timid child is have a clinic dog. Look how cute she is, so cute. Now, Miss Nana works with me here in clinic. She's an amazing, amazing dog. And I can't tell you how beneficial it has been for me to have her in the clinic, especially around really timid kids, because she is just so gentle and so laid back, and she just has them pet her belly all the time. And a lot of times for timid kids, she'll go and, as an emotional support animal, she'll go and just lay down next to them when she feels that they really need help. Now, I realize not everybody can have a clinic dog. I'm very lucky in that I have a very special animal. I mean, look at that belly. It's just such a good belly. So if you're not able to have an animal like this in your clinic who can kind of bridge that gap for you for really timid kids and take out that barrier of talking to a new adult, then you're going to have to really create a play space that really does create a happy and homely environment. So, you know, again, if you kind of saw my clinic, I'm really going for an at-home vibe here in my clinic, and that's because I treat so many kids and I want them to feel really relaxed and at home here in the clinic. Now, this is just my top 3 tips for approaching a timid kid. Of course, within this, you really do need to understand how to utilize your Shonishin in a way that's not abrasive and very gentle for your client and still gets results, how to use moxa with young kids and all of those things too. If you're interested in learning more about the actual technical application, the clinical application, and then the elevated part of your practice for Shonishin, you're going to want to check out ShinKyu University. It is an interview-only program, so you're going to want to set up an interview. You can do that by putting apply in the comments below, or you can just set up an interview. The link is in the description box for this video. If you haven't already, please do hit the like, subscribe, and the little bell to be notified all about future videos coming out about traditional Japanese acupuncture, Matsubashin, Shonishin, and so much more. If you are interested in learning more about Shonishin, I highly suggest that you watch this video right over here.